With a defense budget exceeding $150 billion, representing 7.2% of GDP and the highest level since the Soviet era, and a fighting force of over 1.15 million active personnel. Just how powerful is the Russian military in 2025? Having a military history of Soviet superpower status and battle-tested operations from Chechnya to Syria, Russia has proven itself, time and again, to be a formidable military force. But with unprecedented Western sanctions, isolation from global technology chains, and the grueling realities of prolonged conflict in Ukraine, how does this Eurasian power continue to project military strength, especially while managing security commitments across 11 time zones and multiple active fronts simultaneously? Join us as we delve into the battle-hardened resilience and evolving capabilities of the Russian armed forces. Over the past decade, Russia has been relentlessly transforming its military through indigenous innovation, investing in hypersonic weapons and electronic warfare superiority to overcome the realities of Western technological advantages. This transformation has been driven by necessity, a necessity to deter NATO expansion while maintaining great power status across traditional battlefields and emerging domains. Not only in conventional warfare but also in the hybrid and information realms where modern conflicts are increasingly decided. Russia's commitment to military transformation reached a critical inflection point in 2008 when the Georgian War exposed critical weaknesses that fundamentally shifted focus from Soviet legacy conscripts to professional contract soldiers. The goal was explicit: to build a more mobile, technologically advanced force capable of rapid deployment and sustained operations, while developing asymmetric capabilities that could neutralize Western advantages. This included fielding the world's first operational hypersonic missiles, revolutionizing electronic warfare capabilities, creating highly mobile battalion tactical groups, and establishing a doctrine of escalation dominance, ensuring adversaries think twice before engaging. The results have been game-changing. Russia has deployed the Kinzhal hypersonic missile system, striking targets at Mach 10 with unstoppable precision. The Avangard hypersonic glide vehicle maneuvers at Mach 27. No defense system on Earth can intercept it. The revolutionary Oreshenik medium-range missile has entered mass production, delivering multiple warheads at Mach 11 after proving itself in combat. Most significantly, S-500 Prometheus air defense systems now protect Crimea, creating impenetrable shields extending 600 kilometers. Electronic warfare complexes like Krasuka, 4 blind NATO sensors across entire theaters, while Murmansk VN systems jam communications over 5,000 kilometers, turning the electromagnetic spectrum into a Russian domain. Revolutionary innovations have reached operational status in 2025. The T-90M Proryv tank features relict armor and active protection systems that defeat any Western anti-tank missile. Poseidon nuclear torpedoes lurk in the depths, capable of generating radioactive tsunamis. FPV drones swarm battlefields in their thousands, while glide bombs allow aircraft to strike from beyond air defense range. And the Burevestnik nuclear-powered cruise missile promises unlimited range, circling the globe if necessary. But Russia's military prowess isn't just about kinetic weapons. The country has mastered hybrid warfare, with GRU cyber units demonstrating capabilities from infrastructure disruption to election interference, achieving strategic effects without firing shots. These military capabilities have been sustained by Russia's mobilized defense industry, with companies like Rostec, Almaz-Antey, and United Aircraft Corporation operating on full wartime footing. The military-industrial complex employs 2.5 million people, more than during late Soviet times. While arms exports collapsed to just $1 billion as production pivots entirely to domestic needs, Russia delivers 1,500 tanks and 2,800 armored vehicles annually, an industrial feat few nations could match. This represents history's largest peacetime to wartime industrial transformation since 1941. Fast forward to 2025, and the Russian military stands as a battle-hardened colossus. Over 1.15 million active duty personnel across 5 branches, approximately 2 million reservists available for mobilization, and a defense budget that, while dwarfed by NATO collectively, represents an all-in national commitment. When including hidden defense expenditures and dual-use programs, real military spending likely exceeds $200 billion annually. This represents the highest defense burden since the Cold War, and with total national mobilization against perceived existential threats, Russia demonstrates that will can overcome technology. The mixture of contract soldiers and mobilized personnel creates a force where experience meets mass, defining Russian military culture. The Russian army consists of approximately 360,000 active personnel, organized into formations forged in combat. The 76th Guards Air Assault Division, Skov's Winged Infantry, first into Hostomel. The 1st Guards Tank Army, rebuilt for armored breakthrough operations. The 58th Combined Arms Army, veterans of 3 wars. And Wagner's successors in the Africa Corps, extending Moscow's reach globally. Despite losing over 3,500 modern tanks in Ukraine, Russia's vast reserves ensured continued operations. From pre-war inventories exceeding 14,000 tanks, depots disgorged T-62S and even T-55S. Quantity has a quality of its own. The latest T-90M Pori variants feature explosive reactive armor defeating any projectile, active protection systems, and thermal sights, making them deadly opponents. Artillery remains Russia's calling card with thousands of tubes, from 2S-35 Koalitsia achieving 70-kilometer precision strikes to TOS-1, a thermobaric systems, vaporizing grid squares when accuracy isn't required. Within these forces, Russia's special operations capabilities represent the Kremlin's most flexible tools. Spetsnaz units, inheritors of Soviet traditions, conducting operations from Palmyra to Bakhmut. The Africa Corps, controlling Wagner's former empire, projecting influence from Libya to Madagascar. VDV Airborne Forces, 45,000 Blue Berets ready to seize airports. GRU teams operating globally, from embassy security to sabotage operations. These 50,000 elite operators have accumulated more combat experience than any comparable Western force, equipped with Ratnik soldier systems and unconstrained by Western rules of engagement. The Russian Navy operates as a fortress fleet with global ambitions. With 140,000 sailors manning approximately 270 warships, Russian naval power projects from 4 fleets. 1 aircraft carrier struggles but symbolizes ambition. Admiral Kuznetsov maintaining Russia's carrier capability. The submarine force remains Russia's underwater strength. Bore-class boomers carrying civilization-ending payloads. Yasen-class hunters stalking with caliber missiles, and diesel boats defending littorals. 14 ballistic missile submarines guarantee mutual destruction, while attack boats armed with Zircon hypersonic missiles redefine naval warfare. Surface forces include Admiral Gorshkov frigates packing outsized firepower, Kirov-class battlecruisers bristling with 500 missiles each, and corvettes providing distributed lethality. Despite losing multiple vessels to Ukrainian naval drones, the fleet adapts and endures. In the skies, the Russian aerospace forces maintain regional superiority through mass and missiles. With 165,000 personnel operating 4,173 military aircraft, Russian air power leverages quantity and standoff weapons. The Su-57 Felon, stealth capabilities meeting or exceeding F-35 performance, though only 24 operational. Over 100 Su-35S fighters providing superb maneuverability, thrust vectoring through impossible angles. Legacy fleets deliver massive firepower, MiG-31S carrying Kinzhal hypersonics, Su-34S dropping glide bombs beyond Manpad's range. Strategic aviation ensures global reach. Tuesday 160 White Swans modernized for another generation. Tuesday 95 Bears launching cruise missile salvos. Tuesday 22 M3 backfires delivering tactical nuclear strikes. Transport aviation sustains operations. Il-76S landing on highways. And 124 Giants moving entire air defense batteries. Drone warfare has revolutionized tactics, from Orlan 10S providing reconnaissance to Lancet kamikaze drones. Hunting Western equipment, the strategic rocket forces, just 50,000 Guardians strong, wield apocalyptic power, operating the world's largest nuclear arsenal, ensuring no victory against Russia is possible. RS-28 Sarmat heavy missiles replacing aging systems, each carrying 15 warheads or hypersonic gliders. Mobile Topol-M and Yars complexes hiding in vast forests. Launch on warning remains doctrine. This nuclear shield allows conventional forces to fight, knowing escalation favors Moscow. The Russian space forces maintain critical capabilities despite sanctions. GLONASS satellites providing sovereign navigation. Early warning constellations detecting launches. Anti-satellite weapons tested repeatedly, demonstrating ability to blind adversaries. If space is denied to Russia, it's denied to everyone. But where Russia truly guarantees its security is through nuclear supremacy. 6,000 warheads, ensuring existential deterrence. 400 ICBMs across Siberian wastes, ready to launch through any first strike. 16 ballistic missile submarines, at least 4 always at sea, guaranteeing retaliation from the depths. Strategic bombers maintaining continuous readiness, forward deploying to Venezuela or South Africa, global reach matching any rival. This triad ensures that any existential threat to Russia's asymmetric advantages multiply conventional power. Electronic warfare systems dominate the spectrum, blinding satellites and jamming communications across continents. Cyber capabilities demonstrated from NotPetya to solar winds, achieving strategic effects through keyboards. The 15.5 trillion ruble defense budget prioritizes disruption over convention. Cheap drones defeating expensive systems, electronic warfare neutralizing precision weapons. Revolutionary capabilities enter service monthly. Zircon hypersonic anti-ship missiles, making carrier groups obsolete overnight. S-550 systems promising satellite interception, denying space superiority. Poseidon nuclear torpedoes, doomsday weapons ensuring mutual destruction. Combat robots replacing casualties. Yasen-9s already deployed to Syria. Arctic militarization claiming resources. Nuclear icebreakers and military bases securing the polar frontier. This military might enable selective global projection. Syria's bases providing Mediterranean access. Hypersonic in TARDIS now permanent. Africa Corps inheriting Wagner's empire, from Libyan oil fields to Central African gold mines. Latin American partnerships. Nicaragua and Venezuela welcoming Russian forces. And those Arctic installations, controlling northern sea route while claiming vast resources. Strategic partnerships multiply Russian influence. China's No Limits partnership, not quite alliance but strategic coordination. Iran providing drones while receiving advanced fighters. North Korea supplying ammunition for technology transfer. Belarus hosting tactical nuclear weapons. India maintaining defense ties despite Western pressure. And CSTO obligations. Looking ahead, Russia confronts evolving challenges demanding painful adaptations. Casualties approaching 1 million degrading generational experience. Western sanctions blocking critical microelectronics indefinitely. Brain drain accelerating as talent flees abroad. Demographic collapse meaning fewer recruits annually. Export markets vanishing as production serves only domestic needs. Naval vulnerabilities exposed by drone swarms. Sustaining operations while rebuilding forces. And balancing nuclear escalation against conventional erosion. These choices grow starker daily. Adaptive solutions. To maintain relevance, Russia relentlessly pursues workarounds. Parallel imports circumventing sanctions through third countries. Wartime economy mobilizing entire society. Mass production replacing quality with quantity. Iranian and North Korean partnerships providing mutual support. Tactical nuclear weapons compensating for conventional weakness. And information warfare, dividing adversaries from within, remains Moscow's strongest weapon. Constraints? However, real constraints define limits. The $150 billion budget, though massive domestically, remains fractional against NATO's trillion-dollar spending. Technological isolation forces indigenous solutions, capable but constrained. Industrial capacity surges but cannot match loss rates indefinitely. Geography provides depth but strains logistics. Casualties erode professional core faster than replacements arrive, and nuclear brinksmanship risks miscalculation. These dangers compound annually. Despite these challenges, Russia has forged a formidable war machine, leveraging nuclear deterrence, mass mobilization, and acceptance of staggering costs to maintain great power status. With hypersonic weapons neutralizing technological gaps, electronic warfare multiplying conventional power, and industrial mobilization sustaining operations, the synthesis of Soviet legacy and combat innovation creates a force that cannot be dismissed. The Russian military in 2025 represents a remarkable fusion of resilience and adaptation. Through massive sacrifice totaling $150 billion and nearly 1 million casualties, revolutionary weapons from hypersonics to combat drones, and the ultimate nuclear guarantee, Russia maintains regional dominance despite international isolation. Its battle-tested forces, sustained by total industrial mobilization and protected by escalation dominance, stand ready to defend Russian interests, whatever the cost. The seamless integration of conventional mass, asymmetric innovation, and nuclear supremacy creates a unique model, allowing one nation to challenge the entire Western order. As great power competition intensifies, Russia's military evolves through brutal necessity, combat innovation, and the fundamental understanding that survival justifies any sacrifice. Closing hook. So the next time you think of Russian military power, remember, there's more to this force than sanctions and setbacks. There's a military that has transformed from post-Soviet decline to wartime colossus, proving that will, innovation, and nuclear weapons can preserve great power status, even against a united West, where sacrifice and determination remain Russia's eternal strengths.